Hey, let's take a look at every single one of Apple's cases for the iPhone 14 and 14 Pro lineup. Welcome, you fine-looking people, to AppleInsider. It is Andrew here, and I picked up every single one of Apple's cases for the new iPhone 14 series. Apple has 3 different case options available, all that support MagSafe. There's a clear case, the silicone cases, and the leather cases. All of them are nice, high-quality cases, but let's show you all of Apple's new colors for the iPhone 14, iPhone 14 Plus, iPhone 14 Pro, and iPhone 14 Pro Max. Apple seems to be embracing the fall with its collection of iPhone 14 leather cases. These are the 5 options that Apple has made available. Let's walk through them in a little bit closer detail. Starting off, the first case to check out is a pretty common one, and that is Midnight, which is essentially Apple's black case. This is pretty much just jet black, maybe a tiny hint of deep blue in here, but this is basically a black case. This is your standard black leather. Apple calls it Midnight, but yeah, black leather case. The next one, as we get a little bit lighter, this is what Apple is calling Ink. And yes, it's quite similar to black, but it has a tiny bit of a purplish, bluish hue to it. If we put these side by side, you can see just the slightest blueness to that ink case. Now, I am under studio lighting, so in some cases you can barely even tell the difference. But yeah, Ink is this one here on this side, and this is Midnight on this side. So black and a dark blue. Then we have, as we get later, Forest Green, a new color of green from Apple, Forest Green. This looks good to me. I like this one quite a bit. Still a very dark hue of green. I mean, even with the bright studio lights, it barely even comes off as green. But yeah, this is a dark green case. The brown case Apple is offering this year is called Umber Brown. It's a deeper, darker brown than in years past compared to Saddle Brown and some of the other browns that Apple's had, but a dark brown case here. And then finally, Apple's last one, the brightest one on the list, is this orange color. This might be my sleeper favorite of the lot because it's a really very nice orange, very nice feeling leather. All of Apple's leather cases do use metal accents. These are anodized aluminum accents for the buttons. As you can see there, we have one there, and then we have the volume buttons on this side, open hole for the toggle switch, and then we do have the ports covered here on the bottom with just the openings available for the lightning connector, those microphone and speaker ports. One minor thing I noted, usually with Apple's cases, when you slip them on your phone, an animation will appear and it'll match the color of the case. I am not finding that with this year's phone cases. Now granted, this is putting it onto an iPhone 13, so maybe because this is an iPhone 13, it's not recognizing an iPhone 14 case, but it technically, still fits here just with a little bit larger of a camera bump. So I thought the animation still would have triggered, but no, there was no animation here. If you aren't familiar with what I'm talking about, let me grab one of Apple's official iPhone 13 cases. We'll put this on, and there's the animation to go along with the case. If you'd like a closer look at the clear case, this is it. You still have a kind of light gray ring on the outside for the MagSafe part. It is white here on the inside. Raised lip around the camera. Open bottom on the clear case, so it does not cover the whole bottom, if that is important to you. And we have plastic buttons that feel pretty easy to press there along the sides. So this is Apple's clear case for the iPhone 14 series. Finally, let's take a look at Apple's silicone cases for the iPhone 14 series. Once again, Apple has opted for a midnight case, so pretty much a dark black. You can still see the Apple logo on the back. Other than that, Apple's standard silicone cases. Black here, or as Apple calls it, midnight. The next darker one, or lighter one we have is called Elderberry. It's kind of a dark purple hue with a little bit of cat hair. But Elderberry, a deep purple. I like this color a lot. Should complement the new purple iPhone 14 Pros very nicely. As we go down, we have a darker blue color. Apple is calling this one Storm Blue. Looks similar to the Baltic blues we've had in the past, but yeah, Apple is calling this new deep dark blue Storm Blue. We have a light green case from Apple. I like this a lot. It's a very nice, subtle green color to it. And this one Apple is calling succulent, which makes sense. It's almost exactly like the color of the succulents we have in our house. So yeah, just kind of a pastel, lighter, tealish green hue that Apple is calling succulent. The yellow color Apple is calling Sun Glow, I believe, Sun Glow, but it's basically like a light pastel yellow. Very nice, not overly bright. A good little yellow case from Apple. We, of course, have a red case we do very often. Apple doesn't say product red, but red. This is a bright, vibrant red case. As far as the last two, we have lilac, a very light shade of purple. So purple, big thing this year. Apple has several Pro models with the purple. We now have a dark elderberry and a light lilac purple here in the silicone cases. And finally, we have a pink case. Apple is calling this one chalk pink. Seems pretty apt, just a light, kind of slightly whitish chalk pink color. One question that I'd already started to receive was how the new cases would work with Apple's existing MagSafe accessories, namely MagSafe Duo, the MagSafe battery pack, and Apple's leather MagSafe wallet. So let's test all of these out with the new iPhone 14 cases. So here is my iPhone 14 Pro case, the one that's the most problematic because the large camera module there at the top. Here's our MagSafe wallet, and boom, this thing pops on perfectly. No issues. There's still room around the camera module. This fits on there just fine without any problems at all. Now let's try the MagSafe battery pack. This is the same size really as the wallet. So again, no issues here. It fits on. There's still a little bit of a gap right there around the camera bump, so no issues for the MagSafe wallet. Where it gets tricky is with the MagSafe Duo. When we open this up and we put this on, you can see there's actually a even larger gap. There it is. There's that gap from the lens module hitting the MagSafe charger. So this should still charge. I did put an iPhone 13 in here and it was able to charge with that gap, but it is a substantial gap. This is actually an iPhone 13 Pro case, and you can see the gap is smaller. It's not nearly as big as it is on the iPhone 14 Pro. Just kind of ridiculous that the MagSafe Duo is not an old device and it still technically works with the cases, but man, it does not fit on there smoothly. I wish Apple would introduce a new version of the MagSafe Duo that fits just a bit better with the iPhone 13 Pro and iPhone 14 Pro. So that covers it. That is all 14 of Apple's cases for the iPhone 14 lineup. I'm pretty excited by a lot of these colors. Honestly, this orange, it might be my favorite. It's really cool. It'll go well with that Alpine strap for the new Apple Watch Ultra. Just saying. Anyway, if you'd like to grab any of these cases, the clear cases and the silicone cases, those will run you $49. And then if you want the leather cases, those are $10 more at $59 at full MSRP, though they do occasionally go on sale. I'll put links to all of the cases down below in the description. Otherwise, stay tuned. Got a lot more videos and hands-on with the new devices coming very soon.